Hey everybody, my name is Mike Demaro and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. I don't know if I did this topic before or not, but it's worth mentioning because the past few topics I've been talking about family and life with family and all that. But there's sometimes non-human creatures that are considered part of our family too. And that is called pets. And that's what I'm going to be doing this topic on. Pets. You know, when I was growing up, when I was a child, my uncle had to get one of those big dogs from one of his cousins out in Colorado. And he had to keep it in a cage all the time. That dog actually bit some of my clothes when I was younger. And I don't know why, but then I kept becoming afraid of dogs. I didn't want dogs to sleep on me. I didn't want dogs to terrorize my wife. You know, an event like that can traumatize somebody about dogs, like it has to me. I'm not a fan of dogs, So, I do, I do, I do respect people on getting dogs for pets, you know. But at the same time, I just don't feel comfortable around dogs. I don't know if it's an Aspie thing, but I'm not sure if it is. But for me, I am afraid of dogs, you know? And growing up at the house, we never had dogs, but my uncle did have a dog, you know? Or my grandmother had dogs too, you know? I'm kind of glad that they got rid of their big dog that they had and sent it back to Colorado. But growing up, we had cats at the house. When I was a baby, younger childhood, we had a black cat. Then we had this orange cat. They would walk into the house, walk out, walk in, walk out. We kind of adopted it as our own, but he would run off for a few days, then run back in, you know. And I don't know whatever happened to it. And then my grandmother's cat had kittens, and my sister fell in love with this cute little black kitten. Its name was Ebony. And that was our longest living cat at our house that I know of. Ebony would cause trouble too. He would pee all over the place, but Ebony was nice and loving. No, well, he was like Scrooge. So my nickname for him was like Ebenezer Scrooge. Because, well, part of Ebenezer is Ebony, so. He was attack. He was our attack cat, And then my sister brought home a cat when she was up in college. And the cat's name was Harley. And it was friendly. But apparently to the male members of our family, Harley was scared of us. I don't know why. And my sister had to move out of the apartment because she wanted to keep this cat. And for the first few weeks of when the cat was living in our house, the cat had to stay in my sister's room. And then we got nerves enough to let the cat out of the room and see how it would get along with Ebony. And I know the two cats didn't really get along with each other, but But hey, they loved each other, So I don't know. I think Harley loved Ebony. I don't know. I don't think Ebony cared about Harley, so yeah. Unfortunately, Ebony died in like one of my last weeks or one of my last days at the Disney College program. You know, so that was some sad news to hear. When you're about to leave your college program, you hear about the cat died. You know, but that's life, they say. You know, and then not to mention, what I did for Ebony. When I came back, and then I noticed that we had a black bird in our pizza restaurant, Pizza Planet. He would stay there. He would attack people's food. He would drink out of the water fountain. He was like the bird that you don't want to mess around with. I was the one who gave him a name. You know what happened to be the name of that bird? Ebony, after the cat. I happened to name the bird after our cat that we had growing up. Well, it was appropriate because it was black. I bet you if you look it up on Facebook, there's a page called Ebony the Bird. Yeah, so anyways, back to Ebony there. After he died, it was like 3 months later, I was trying to look for another cat because I wanted to get another cat for my parents. And I found this real nice orange cat that there was a girl that was leaving for college, and she couldn't take the cat with her. So then the family had allergies or something. The daughter had the allergy, so we took the cat in. Her name was Haley. She was the same age, but around Harley, so. But now Haley would live in my parents' bedroom, and I would make it her home up there. And then Harley would like to scare her, wants to be friends with her, and she doesn't want to be friends with him. So. But anyways, going back to, that's a little bit of our history about the animals. And I just want to say I'm sorry about that background noise, but we're having a dryer right now in this house, so the dryer's going on. I think it's the dryer that's going on. But, yeah. And just in case anybody wants to know, we are in the rental home in Key West, so our family house here. But anyways, back to the topic about pets. We have a dog, or no, we never had dogs, but my sister, when she met my brother-in-law, she wanted to have dogs in that house, in her house. She got one dog. It was a pug named Casey. And I wasn't real crazy about that. Then I heard the news that she got another pug. And I was like, oh my lordy, no. And that pug's name was Milo. Then, a few years later, they decided to get an Australian Shepherd, and its name was Piper. And I'm like, oh no, not again, And I'm trying to figure out why my sister wants to get pets in her own house. And then when she goes camping, she wants to bring the dogs into ours, into my parents' trailer when I'm trying to eat or whatever. When we went on vacation a couple of years ago in the Outer Banks, we went camping. Oh yeah, I was trying to eat and was trying to relax, and yet she had to bring the doggies in. Or when I'm trying to lay down on the couch when I was trying to sleep, or it was morning and I wasn't ready to get up. Oh yeah, she had to bring the doggies into the trailer. And I feel When am I going to be known that the dogs were coming in here? You know? Because I am afraid of dogs, okay? And yet she decides to bring the dogs into the trailer. You know, my parents love her dogs. And yet, you know, how about consideration for me? I have none. Seems like I'm speechless when it comes to these dogs. You know? And yet, when she went on her honeymoon, she had to leave the dogs at my parents' home when I was at the house. I had to deal with those two dogs. And then if she's coming down to the Keys in a couple of weeks, and she's leaving the dogs with my parents' house again. And what happens to know? I might have to move into their house again. I have to deal with their three stupid dogs living at the house. You know, my sister doesn't have any consideration for me. She grew up with me, and yet she doesn't understand that I'm afraid of dogs. You know? And I'm sorry for bashing on her and her dogs, but that is the truth. I don't know if any other Aspies have problems with dealing with pets, with dogs or cats. You know? You know, I met this nice young lady who was on the spectrum, and I went over to her house, and I spent the night over there because she was afraid. She was alone, and she didn't want to be afraid of anything, so I spent the night over at her house. And the dog was in the same room as I did, and the dog was trying to keep me up, you know? It was a nice dog, you know? But, you know, she has a nice collection of dogs and cats, you know? Or she has one dog and a few cats, and she has a bird too. You know, that, I did enjoy spending the time with her at her house. You know, dogs didn't bother me then. So I don't know. I don't know if the dog understands about people that have Asperger's or whatever. That's the interesting thing I want to know. Can the dog sense when someone has autism or Asperger's? I know my sister's dogs cannot. And I wonder if my friend's dog could. You know? That's the interesting part I would like to find out. If a dog that has an owner that has somebody with Asperger's or autism, can they understand another person with Asperger's or autism? That's the question I'm trying to figure out for myself. So, and that's the question I want to find out eventually. I know I'll never have a dog in my life because they're a little bit too hard for me to take care of. I'll probably never have a cat in my house either because they're probably a little too hard to take care of too. So, if I had a pet choice, I'd probably prefer to have a cat than a dog. Simply because I think cats like to be independent and they're less taken care of, or you don't have to take care of them as much. As dogs, they have to have company and companionship. You know? Well, cats like to have companionship too, but I mean, cats are more independent when somebody goes away. Whereas dogs, you have to find a home for someone to take care of. You know? And by the way, not to mention, the two cats my parents have, every time those dogs come over, my sister's dogs, you know what? The cats escape to my parents' bedroom, and they're scared of the dogs, So you have two angry cats when the three dogs come over. And that has happened in the past, So, Well, I'm saying this. I hope I do not have to worry about moving back up there anymore, and I hope I do not have to worry about staying in a place where my sister has her dogs. You know, so I hope this personal side of my life with pets was fun and educational for you and entertaining. But I would like to hear your stories about with your pets if you have any. You know, if you do, let me know. And it'll be fun to learn about pets, even though I don't have any or I don't want any. But it'll be fun to learn about the pets in life and how Aspies do live with pets. Everyone has a different experience about pets, so I would love to hear for it. All right. I hope to talk with you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoy my videos, and hopefully I'll see you on another video.